time something approaches me, in order to determine if it is an aid or an impediment to my plans, I must dissect it. Mentally, of course. You remain of little interest. For the moment.
No credentials? Then beat it! I don't have time to waste on you.
Welcome, stranger. If you come seeking treatment, I have all manner of locally sourced natural remedies for whatever ails you. Do not underestimate the potency of ground Zithtrakian antlion eggs. An amount no greater than the head of a pin can instigate the regeneration of necrotized tissue at the cellular. On more primitive worlds, they believe it is magic. What is there to tell? I am a simple, well, whoever told you that is mistaken. While I do offer healing services, they are of a simple naturopathic variety.
Can we avoid the chaos that befalls the destroyer?
Greetings, stranger. What can I do for you? From our homeworld of Drem, House Spinnette produces the finest assassins deployed throughout the Imperium. For a price. One without the other is unbalanced and slovenly. An ill-prepared meal without manners or class. We cleave to the laws of Khanli. We perfected the precepts of a war of assassins. Following these rules costs far less lives than open war. Our precise discipline in the art of death actually saves lives across the Imperium. The math does not lie. That is why we've come to Arrakis. Why we lobbied among the Landsraad for the conflict between Duke and Barren to be a war of assassins.
Times of uncertainty, House Harkonnen stands firm as the bedrock of stability.
Welcome, stranger. What business have you with House Alexin? If you haven't heard of House Alexin, you will soon. Our influence grows rapidly into hearts, minds, and most of all, stomachs. We're traditional farmers and producers. We feed half the Imperium at any given time and make sure that nobody from Mala to Noble goes hungry. Oh, but you're wrong. Arrakis has the greatest crop of all, melange. A part of my mission here is to study the methods of harvesting and find options. Alas, I've said too much on this topic. Please, let's speak of other things. I'm not really the person to ask. You need to have signed a contract of allegiance to a major house to even participate, as I understand it. The name is Graham Candace, diplomatic envoy for House Alexin. I think that's my title anyway. It's a bit complicated. Truth be told, I'm just a glorified farmer. More at ease with gourd seeds than politics. But they needed to send someone, and, well, here I am. Why am I here, you ask? Well, that's an easy one. One only has to gaze at the dull glow across the horizon for a quick answer. The Neo-Carthag project is our single largest client on Arrakis. The Mala contingent alone consumes more food than 2 cities the size of Arrakeen. Among other duties, such as meeting with people like you.
Welcome, fellow citizen. How is it that the Imperial Tax Administratum can assist you today? I'm afraid that's a matter you would have to take up with the Imperial Bailiff Authority. In most cases, you would simply be given additional time to pay, at the end of which you would pay, or be remanded to a local debtor's prison until your outstanding balance was settled. Unfortunately, that second outcome mostly equates to the death penalty, or so I'm told. Apparently, the pox is rife within the dungeons, and one is not expected to survive very long. So pay those taxes. There isn't much to tell. One provincial backwater is much the same as the next, although I'll admit some are less desolate than others. While Harko has the makings of something more, I'm afraid that potential will never be realized under the current administration. While I'm certain that Count Raban has the village's best interests at heart, I'm afraid he is all consumed with the Neo-Carthag construction project. And unfortunately, Neo-Carthag is both over time and over budget, which leaves the Count with little bandwidth for village matters. And Harko suffers as a result. Why Count Raban doesn't simply restore the village's previous and rightful lord to the position is beyond me. It's Count Raban's own cousin, Grigory Harkonnen, a most agreeable and competent village headman, if there ever was. Grigory was the custodian of Harko long before the beast and his retinue arrived, and will be so again when Neo-Carthag is finally complete. Not even the Barren himself can predict that. No, the project has been plagued in every way possible, from sabotage to sandstorm damage to the theft of key construction materials, which are then offered back to Count Raban at an exorbitant markup. Thus far, Neo-Carthag has been an unmitigated disaster. Believe me, I've seen the books.
Remember the sacrifices made to secure our way of life.
Welcome. Would you like to deposit or withdraw Solaris? How much Solaris would you like? Welcome. Would you like to deposit or withdraw Solaris? How may I assist you? The Solari is the physical medium of exchange in the Imperium. It is circulated in myriad paper and coin denominations, or micro-Solaris as they are known in the Regency worlds. The Imperial economy relies on the Solari to facilitate transactions and fuel financial growth. No, the spice melange is a commodity. While it is the most valuable commodity in the known universe, its value is established in Solaris. Spice is bought in Solaris. It is sold in Solaris. The simple answer is interstellar banking. As part of the Spacing Guild, the Guild Bank is able to utilize the Transport Guild's unmatched projection across the known universe. With this synergy, our Guild pursers are able to move any quantity of funds across any quantity of worlds. The power of interstellar commerce.
Hello, welcome. How can the Spacing Guild be of service? No, I'm merely a servant of the administration, I'm afraid. Here to acquire spice from the resourceful and determined, as well as the rude. Oh, dear. Nowhere is there a place that more plainly tells its own story as Harko. Merely look down into the slave pit and up to the spire. In Harko, there is nothing in between. Oh, I'd imagine colouring books, instruments of torture, stuffed animals, dead children. Amusements of that nature are to Glossy Raban's taste. Though he is rarely there, supervising the construction of Neo-Carthag keeps him terribly occupied. Not going well, from what I understand. Well, I wouldn't shout it in the Grand Souk, though I can hardly imagine it drawing any attention if I did. Everyone is aware of what he is. He's rather proud of his proclivities. I might ask you the same question, were I interested. Well, at least you did not assume I was from this lamentable place. I am from Chusik, a lush and peaceful world. Very much the antithesis of Arrakis. For love and necessity, each in its own measure. More one than the other, if I'm honest.
In the shifting sands of uncertainty, House Harkonnen stands firm as the bedrock of stability.
Welcome to Hannivar's. Follow 3 simple rules and you'll have a good time. Rule number 1. We maintain a segregated lounge. You must stay within your own designated cast area. The Na Familia will not abide a low-born interloper, and I don't want to hear the bitching. This rule is for your own protection. They sit around waiting for any excuse to invoke Canley and kill you where you stand. Rule number 2. All drinks cost what they cost. You pay up front, no haggling, and no discounts for any Harkonnens. Don't even ask. Rule number 3, stay out of the back room. It's off limits. I'm Anushka Hannivar. This is my place. The same thing that happens to any poor savages that don't submit to the Imperial yoke. My world had its own primitives that suffered the same fate. The ones who adapt survive. The Fremen had no chance against the Sardaukar. Because you've never been to my home world. Every millimeter of stonecrete, every glass portal, and every shape beam in here is meant to invoke a unique construction detail found only on the ice planet, Lenkivale. In truth, we are shamelessly borrowing from the renowned design mentat Hansia Einwald, but I like to think he would be flattered if he wasn't dead. The nautical theme and ornamentation celebrates our homeworld's most famous export, the magnificent and priceless furs of the great Beyondak's Vale, the bones of which hang suspended above the beer hall as our dramatic centerpiece. This particular specimen was an especially infamous and fearsome beast known as Krasinok. Me? That's a good laugh. No, that would be my father, Ilyich. He was a whaleboat captain in his younger days. In fact, father was granted this place as a boon for catching the beast. Krasinok sent more than 30 boats to the bottom before father finally took it. 11 men and 4 limbs were lost in the 8-day running battle with the beast. Narrow harpoons bristling from its ivory hide like a hedgehog. A hide that now hangs behind the Baron's rather ample habitus as a fancy dress cape.
kitten wanders in from the dark, lost and afraid. Can I help you, kitten? Oh, kitten. If you needed to know that, you'd know. Why don't you come back and talk to me when you have something to talk to me about?
Are the foundation upon which House Harkonnen builds its empire. Questioning the authority of House Harkonnen is an act of defiance. Report any suspicious activity to the authorities immediately.
I knew you'd be back. Only a matter of time.
I don't recognize the pattern of your footfalls. Who are... You're in dubious luck, then. I am an adept of the Ginaz school. Millennia of martial knowledge distilled down to the broken form. Though I'm but a mangled memory of Seron Varlin, a memory is enough to thrash you. Keep your distance. Seems there's an old custom on this cruel planet to cast the blind out among the dunes for burial by way of worm belly. Several curs accosted me to uphold that tradition. I scribed regret upon their flesh in so bold a signature as they won't soon forget. On guard. Really? Oh, that puts a smile on my bitter mouth and earns my kind regards, stranger. You've either received too little or too much training for me to be able to properly shape you.
And what are you supposed to be?
Gone.
You're back.
Gone.
I've not seen you before. Pray, what can you want from me?
must have better work stability.
I'm going to stop you right there and say straight off that for any repair, construction, or renovation job, I'm booked solid through the next 8 months. So the war's great for repair work, but the supply chain's as gone as the Fremen.
Together we shall conquer all adversaries.
Hello. If you're planning to head out to collect spice, I have all that you need.
Yes, I see you. State your business. This is not the den of leisure and luxury it appears to be. I am busy. What do you want?
I see you. I see you. Just a moment. I mean no offense by my delay. My limbs do not respond as quickly as they once did. You will be wanting a dram of my water. Is that right?